Great. I was just waiting on the numbers to start getting a lot more. We're sitting on 90 something people. I'm expecting that we're going into 100 and something because this is a general and more public session. But as people come in, I'm just quickly going to really welcome and introduce the people who are going to be facilitating this session for us. We're joined by Mkhumbuzi Pooe and Thami Pooe, who are both the founders of Tshimong Academy. Both Busi and Thami are experienced debaters and public speakers. So as you would have seen on the description of the workshop itself, it's really going to be focusing on honing that skill. And I think this is quite an important session really because it speaks to one of our key competencies, which is around engaging for impact. Now that competency really speaks to the heart of being able to capture an audience, being able to communicate a message quite eloquently and clearly, being able to really draw in the attention of an audience. And Busi and Thami have great experience in facilitating workshops of this nature. So I'm really excited to have them here today to really take you guys through the process. So Busi and Thami are really going to explain what process they're going to follow with you shortly. Thanks, Busi. You're on mute, Busi.
Gosh. So this happens to me all the time. I'm either muted or my camera is off. But anyway, thank you so much, Zolani, for the wonderful introduction. I'm so excited to be here. We've been, looking forward to this day for a very long time. As Zolani would know, it's something that we've been talking about since really the beginning of the year. Thami is also here with me, and he's going to introduce himself and say hi to everyone. I am also going to share my screen, if that's okay with everyone, just so we're on the same page throughout the session. So my teeth are blue, I think now and again, and that's fine. A little bit of humor. It is 3 p.m. on a Friday, so I am going to bring all the energy and all the jokes just to make sure that we're having as much fun as possible, even though this is a very serious session that's looking to, boost your confidence when it comes to engagement of issues as an emerging leader within the education sector. So first of all, I'm just going to share with you about Tshimong, as well as introduce Thami, who's our co-founder and executive director, and then we'll get straight into it. So Tshimong is a very dynamic social enterprise, youth-owned, started in 2016 when we were 21 years old. And really what's at the heart of the organization is growing citizens who are critical, who are engaged, who can positively shape their communities. The organization has a long history of using the framework of debate as a tool to activate 21st century competencies. So a lot of people, when they hear debate, they assume parliament or, bright-eyed child standing on stage delivering an impassioned speech. And that's part of it. That's the presentation element of it. But there's a long-standing process that involves learning how to think critically, how to find information to support your views in life, how to engage people in argumentation, how to build counter arguments, and how to build policies that will hopefully one day shape our society. And it's through this process that we've met some incredible young South Africans, some young people in Zambia, as well as young people in the United States that have been part of our programs, that have been as big a part of shaping them as we have, in terms of really just coming in with their authentic views, with their authentic experiences of life, and honing a skill that has taught them to be masterful in their communication and to be exceptionally persuasive. In recent months, we created something called the Tshimong Academy that we'll tell you a bit more about at the end of the session. But what that is it's a systemized program that you can enroll in. You can choose a course, and you can do a course over a couple of weeks with an instructor who is someone that has extensive experience in competitive debating and competitive public speaking, where you would hone specific elements and mindsets when it comes to 21st century skills that are important to you specifically. And we're so excited to be doing this session with JGF, because JGF is an organization that has affirmed our vision, and that has also given us space not only to do this presentation, but to welcome some of you who might want to take on Tshimong Academy as an elective. So that's Tshimong, and that's its history. I think Monaka Munyai, who is a JGF scholar, and also Akhisang Sibanda, hopefully both on the call, will be two individuals that I can recall who we have worked with, and of the kind of young person that we're passionate about shaping, about leveraging in terms of our nation building project. So as Zolani said, Busi, Mkhumbuzi, Pooe, and very excited to be facilitating this. Not here by myself, I'm with Thami, and in true Yo TV presenter style, I'm gonna pass over to him to give you a bit of his energy. So Thami, how are you doing?
Hi. I'm good, Busi. Thank you so much for getting me in the session. I'm just really honored to be on this platform, and I think we've come to a place where our organization and the work that we're doing is beginning to align more and more with organizations that share a vision as ours, a nation building vision. And I think, JGF itself as an organization and, recruiting you guys as fellows into this incredible institution is one such place that we're happy to be presenting in. I think from my side, one, I want to mention, yes, the blue screen is making my teeth blue as well. So I want to promise you guys on the other side that I do have a set of teeth. It's like a full set of teeth, beautiful, bright smile. So don't worry about that for now. The second thing I want to say though, is that, part of what we do at the Tshimong Academy is, not only teach you how to enhance your speaking skills and put you in a position where you are able to mobilize people around your ideas through speech. But what I always say to everyone that's been in our academy before is that we basically give students a different mental infrastructure, different way of thinking. If there's never been an education system that has taught you how to think critically, how to collaborate, and also how to hone every relevant 21st century skill through debating, we are able to do that and create that infrastructure in your mind through, purposeful, repeated, systematic engagement. So by the time you're done with this course, and by the time you might even be done with this workshop, you might have a different way of seeing things. You might be seeing things from a multi-faceted perspective and point of view. So that's the point, right? We want to get you guys as leaders in the education system to think in that manner. And before we jump into the formal session itself, I want to say something that someone said to Busi and I a long time ago, that when you look at the education system, it's very, very important to personify the system and not think about it as this big ethereal machine. Personify the system. Think about the system as a body, as a person, and think about wherever there are problems, there are actual ailments and pains and groaning that are happening on this body and person. And as people that are contributing to bettering the system, we are giving medicine to this body to heal the actual system itself. So really, really pump your blood into the work that you're doing right now. And I love this organization for just activating you in that kind of way. All right, Busi, over to you, and I guess over to us again.
Thank you so much, Thami. So I'm going to get right into what we hope to achieve in this short time that we have with each other today. So I'm really going to need everyone to get on board. If you don't have a notepad or a notebook with you, I'm going to ask you to get that out, get a pen out, a pencil out, because we're really going to get to work. And we're going to put a couple of you on the spot in terms of asking you to speak in the session. And really the goal is to, at the end of this session, have taught you two very important things. One, how to form arguments on issues relating to problems within the education system. As Thami said, usually we feel isolated from the education system. We see it as this really big, complex thing that can't be changed or solved. What we're going to be wanting to do in this session is really break it down into the critical elements that can move the needle. Two, we're hoping that at the end of the session, we've given you a glimpse of what it looks like to use critical thinking to engage with different ideas on contentious issues. So how do I contend with people's ideas? How do I disagree? How do I come back from a disagreement that is very potent, right? So at the end of this session, I think you can come back to these objectives and you can judge yourself to see, how well you think you did in your own personal capacity. But really the context under which we're trying to achieve these objectives is the basic education system itself, right? As individuals that are talented, that passed your matric with flying colors, that are in university doing extremely well, but that once you go into the system, that you're going in to solve problems, right? So as an emerging leader in the field, you not only have a responsibility to want to solve problems, you also have to be conscious of a couple of realities. Firstly, that your ideas don't exist in a vacuum. The world would be so great if we could push our perspective, and that could be policy. Maybe not so good if our policies and our ideas about life don't work out. But in reality, people have different kinds of views, and those views are contending. So it's critical for you as emerging leaders, it's critical for you as outstanding students and people that want to shape the system to understand how it is that you master the concept of convincing an audience or persuading people to accept your particular point of view. So for example, look at these three issues, and there's many issues, right? But we've just really brought it down to these three issues in basic education that I would say are issues that where people really disagree, families and principals and SGPs, there's a lot of disagreement around these. Who should be allowed to teach, right? Who should be standing in front of our kids, teaching them? Should school tracking be allowed? Some of you might not know what tracking is. You might have come from a very liberal high school, but your parents might have come from the Bantu education system where tracking was a very real thing, where based on your aptitude, you'd be put in a specific class. Maybe you might do a specific curriculum or specific subject. Should we allow that in a South African context where we've got such high unemployment and disengagement in the education system? But also, what language should we teach in, right? Should we teach in major languages of trade? Should people learn in their mother tongue all the way through to tertiary education, for instance? These are just examples of issues where if you're coming into the space as an emerging leader and you're going to stand out, you're going to need to have a very well thought out point of view, and you're going to need to understand exactly how it is that you approach the process of convincing people to accept your point of view. So at this point, we're going to break away into two sessions, one led by myself, one led by Thami. I'm not in control of which breakaway group you're going into, but let's go into those groups so we can get into the activity itself. So take guys, you're welcome to move us to our breakaways at this stage. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope that you thoroughly enjoyed your breakaway. Let me just make sure that everyone's back in this main session. Yes, everyone is. So just to rehash quickly, if anyone missed it, there are 4 key rules that we're giving you as you leave the session and you go into the many debates that you're going to have even during this few days of having your disruptive summit. You have to come up with, you're entitled to your opinion, but develop it into an argument. Expect disagreement, engage disagreement with generosity. Constructively disagree with others, and the best responses always take into account some kind of confession. What's the bigger picture, guys? The bigger picture is that you're going into a very complex, interconnected system that has many stakeholders, government, NGOs and social sector, parents, communities, learners, principals, SGBs. And as an emerging leader going into this space, you're more than a teacher, you're also someone that's going to need to be skillful in argumentation and masterful in your persuasive tactics, right? So at this stage, we would like to invite those of you that want to continue honing the skills that we've spoken about to sign up for Tshimong Academy. We're very fortunate that JGF has made way for Tshimong Academy to be taken on by those of you who are interested as an elective. I think the link is in the chat or has been put into the chat or will be put into the chat, has just gone on the chat there with Zolani. Thank you so much, Zolani. So it's a very quick link, just need your contact details, and then we'll get back to you. But on that form, think very carefully about which course you would like to do. If you're someone that has experience in public speaking and debating, but you're looking for a space where we're doing solutions debating, where we're looking at various issues in education and where our debates are specifically geared around solutions, then you're signing up for the 8-week pro course. But if you're someone who's a beginner, you've never debated in your life, or maybe you've tried just once, or you're not that strong with your public speaking skills, and you want to start off by developing your confidence and developing your argumentation skills before going into that high pressure pro course, then do sign up for the beginner course. If you have any questions at all, click the form as well, because there is an email address where you can just drop us an email so we know. And again, thank you so much to all of you. We really, really enjoyed this. We've been looking forward to this since February. We're so excited about getting some of you to do Tshimong Academy, because when you're done as well, you get to be an alumni and you get to then work with us on Tshimong projects as a Tshimong coach, where we can deploy you into schools and different youth development centers so you can be a coach and you can be a Busi in that context, or a Thami. So thank you so much to everyone. I'm going to hand over at this point to Zolani. Yeah, thanks guys.
Great stuff. Thank you so much, Busi and Thami. I've got no doubts that those breakaway sessions were lit and interesting, knowing the both of you. I hope candidate fellows found value in this, right? And I think Jeremy just dropped on the chat that this is a great opportunity if you want to finite your competency in engaging for impact, right? One of the jokes that we often throw in the team is, what will a JGF candidate fellow look like when they start working? I mean, we're soon going to see that and have people that we can actually say, oh, this is what they look like. But in essence, really, we're hoping that by the time you are an educational leader, expert, teacher, or social entrepreneur, you're quite distinct to other people who wouldn't have had this opportunity that you've had. So really, I'm going to put people on the spot and say that if I bump into you when you're a teacher and you really suck at public speaking, I'm really going to have a bad time. We're not going to have a pleasant conversation. But yeah, thanks a lot. We really appreciate this, and all the best to everyone. I think we have a bit of a break now, so use your break, and you're going to come back for the technology roundtable. That's going to be an exciting roundtable. We're bringing in amazing people, so I hope you're excited about that.